Dogecoin or GameStop?
Oh my gosh, that one's actually hard. GameStop? I don't know why. I just gotta choose one right now.
Oh man. All right. Nancy, thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate you so much for coming out here. I know it's different being out here from Chicago or coming from Miami to Chicago. How do you like Miami, by the way?
Miami's a vibe.
Is it?
It's a high frequency vibe.
I feel that. What is that? Why you guys moved over there?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of alignment in Miami. Just because, okay, the reason why we made the decision, just like the leap, like let's just go, was because Matt Rosa said, you won't move to Miami. Oh. And I'm just like, of course I'll move to Miami if Matt Rosa says it. So he was playing a joke. He's like asking Mike, hey, ask Nancy if she'll move to Miami. I'm just like, no, I'm coachable. Matt Rosa says go, I go. Right. Like, I'll be here in a month. And we basically did. But besides that, it's warm. I like palm trees.
I like palm trees.
They have nice cars.
Did you know that all palm trees in the United States are imported? Palm trees are not a native tree in any United state. Isn't that crazy?
Damn.
So Cali, Texas,
all
Florida.
Synthetic.
Also, yeah. Every single one of them was imported.
Damn.
That blew my mind first time I heard it. And now I can't look at a palm tree the same.
That's a fun fact, though.
It is. It is a fun fact. So I wanted to, there's a few things that I wanted to talk to you about. Obviously, we've been kind of working together for such a long time. We have a lot of different conversations. But one thing that I know that you're very strongly and very passionate about is animals.
Okay.
So I wanted to hear because I don't think I've ever heard it, why you decided to go vegan.
Yeah, this is a mouthful. So I did a Q&A with Leon Denoso maybe like a week and a half ago. And somebody asked me the same question and I just went in. So you could also find that. I think there's a recording somewhere. The reason why I went vegan was, yes, because of the animals. I don't think there's a difference between a dog and a cow. You know, like if you're going to take care of this little puppy and treat it like a member of your family, why not the cow? Like it's not the cow's fault, you know? Aside from that, it's just energy. Everything is energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It's just transferred. Right? So if we have this huge industry of dairy and meat and it's all like being mass produced, right? Because you got to feed the demand, right? And then some, and we're Americans. So like we have like 3 burgers a day if we wanted to, super size, American size. So we're creating this industry and we're paying, of course, right? Like supply and demand. They're going to make an industry out of where our dollars are going. Yeah. So it's just getting bigger and bigger. Anyway, so slaughterhouses, just like hormones being injected, all of that. Think of the animal, right? However long it lives, whether it be 3 weeks, 3 months, I don't think it gets over 3 years. It's being tortured for the entire existence. That's why they're bred. They're not even naturally bred. It's not even a matter of having sex and reproducing. No, they're being made. So that's really weird. Have you ever seen a guy stick his hand up a cow?
Yeah, it's fucking really gross.
Weird. Yeah, it's just a weird industry, dude. Yeah. It's weird vibes. So from the very moment of conception to throughout the entire life of this being, right? It's just being used and abused. And then of course they kill it. And then we're injecting or we're consuming that energy. We're eating the fear, the depression, the sadness, the overwhelmment, the lack of water, the lack of air, the lack of nutrients, of course, not even including the hormones, the steroids, all that fun stuff. And then we wonder why we're tired after eating. And then we wonder why we're sad. And then we wonder why don't we feel our best and why our immune system is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Do you blame it? Does it make sense? So that was one of the reasons that just made it was completely logical to go vegan for me. 1, I care for animals. 2, I care for myself. 3, I'm here for a good time and a long time. Thanks. So it's just it just made sense. And then of course, fuck these companies. For real. I'm so anti-dairy. I think it's dirty. I think it's just nah, you are not good people. You're not good people if you do that. I don't know how you sleep at night. I'm not here to judge because that's what people do for a living, but there's other things to do for a living. Yeah. And that being said, allowing animals to live it could also make you a living.
So I saw a video. This girl was talking about how when she went vegan, it was like during her, like so to speak, like awakening, that she, because of her awakening, she decided to go vegan. Awakening meaning like she started like realizing how the word actually works and not just being like programmed into doing something. Do you think that had a lot to do with?
Yeah, that's part of the awakening, is just realize that you're in this matrix that somebody made up, that, again, commercialism, right? Capitalism. Just like somebody made this industry up so that they could profit off of it. Like anything else, banks, anything, right? So part of your awakening is like, holy shit, I've only been doing this out of habit. I've only been doing this because somebody else told me to do it. Like, yeah, maybe our parents did raise us with whole milk or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Right? Until we were old enough to consciously make a decision and say, this is kind of gross and I don't feel good drinking it. So I think it's all in the same. It's all in one.
How do you deal with people that like are like, oh, I could never go vegan. Like I love meat. Like when people say that, when people ask me like, they're so surprised I'm vegan because we're Mexican. So it's like, how are you vegan? Like, aren't you Mexican? Like you just eat carne asada every Friday, you know? Like, how do you deal with people that say they can't do that?
I think, okay, so that's like rooted from doubt, right? We were just reading, was it U Squared?
Yeah.
And he says, doubt is not a move of logical thinking. It's a move out of habitual thinking. It's just all habit. You think you can't because you haven't done it yet. So it's just like, okay, I'll give you another example. I didn't associate myself as a runner. Like, I just don't run, I don't like it. And then Mike told me to do this challenge with him, 21 days running 5 miles a day. And I said, no, that ain't me. And then I was just like, hold up, wait a minute. I just haven't done it before because I've never identified as a runner. So what if I just made a decision to do it? Then I could do it. It was the same thing with going vegan. I thought giving up eggs and cheese would be hard until I did it. Now you can put all the fried eggs in front of my face and I'm just kind of like, what are you doing?
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
gross.
Yeah.
So when people say like, oh, I'm Mexican, I'm just like, dude, you can make up all the excuses that you want. If you really wanted a change, then you would just act on that instead of making things up. Like all the reasons why you can't do it. Think of the reasons that you can do it. If you really want to. If not, live your life.
Was it hard for you too?
No, I think I took the gradual route. So at first, it was more so vegetarian. I just started cutting out red meats, like no burgers, no carne asada and stuff like that. Then I started cutting out poultry. And then I was pretty much left with fish. And I was just like, well, this is kind of like old, so I'm just going to cut that out. I did go back and forth. I took a little break. And then I did go back to red meat. I was just like, I'm not feeling it anymore. And then Mike went vegan. And I was basically like, I was eating really clean just because I was like into the gym and stuff. And then I just ate what made me feel good.
Yeah.
So it's just like protein, clean, lettuce, salads, like all that good stuff, rice. And then I realized like I hadn't really been eating anything that wasn't vegan. I was just like, I'm pretty much plant-based. So I was like, cool,
kind
I'm
of stuck
plant-based.
to it.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest like differentiator for me is when I started eating vegan food was how you feel after you eat a meal. You know, it's not about, and obviously there's a lot of health benefits to it as well. But it was like how you feel when you eat a heavy meal with a lot of carbs, a lot of, carcass and dairy, and then you just feel like shit. You're just like, oh. And then you eat a vegan, like when I put people onto like Chicago Diner and they eat vegan food, they're like, I don't feel like shit. Like I stuff my face and I don't feel like I'm about to blow up, or I don't feel like I'm tired and exhausted. About to take a nap, Like I think that's what did it for me. I don't know if I ever told you a story, but I had it was the first time I met Kevin, John, Jordan. We went to Pick Me Up Cafe.
Nice.
And I got regular nachos and they all got vegan nachos. And then we went to, I don't remember whose house it was, but like an hour later, right now, it was a big old plate of nachos, so I didn't finish it. And like an hour, maybe 20 minutes later, right? My cheese, I would pick up a chip, and you know how cheese gets really hard, like after you let it sit. It was like hard, and all the chips were kind of put together, and the cheese like turned a different color, and then the vegan cheese still looked like it just came out of the microwave, like it was still drippy and like saucy, and I'm like, what? That's weird, That was like my exposure, and then I watched all the documentaries on Netflix.
That'll do it.
And that's what did it. And then after that, I just went cold turkey. Like I never ate I haven't eaten meat for like well over 2 years.
Did you like tell your parents? Was it like a whole process? Like, hey guys, I'm vegan. Don't put this in my face.
One day because I was living by myself, so when I would come home on Sundays, I'm like, no, I just told my mom like I don't eat meat anymore, or cheese.
Did they understand it?
No, she was fucking, So it took a while for my parents to like adapt to it.
Yeah.
But now my mom cooks like all vegan food because my dad's diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
so it's even better.
Yeah.
My dad's the only one that's just like, I love meat, never giving it up.
Isn't that ironic? It's kind of similar in my family too. With my dad, he's just kind of like here and there. He's mostly plant-based, both of them. But he's like the one that should be doing it the most.
Yeah.
Like he has like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, like all the above, right? And it's just like, bro, just cut it out and you'll see like how different you feel consistently.
It's a programming. It's the programming.
Es que
It's crazy.
son los meros.
So how many countries have you been to?
Over 25, but under 30.
Damn. How does traveling affect your well-being? Because I have never seen you sick. Ever since the time that I've known you, I've never seen you sick.
I had cramps once.
I think that's like a natural,
How does traveling affect my well-being?
Yeah, or anyone's well-being. But primarily, like, speaking about you, because you travel a lot and you're never sick. Like,
I think that goes back to, like, the veganism. Like, the way that I treat my body. I think I'm not even going to say, like, yeah, I know my body really well. I think it's just, like, yeah, we have a relationship. We're cool. The physical is cool with me. But I think in terms of, like, traveling, how it affects my well-being, I mean, it gives me a lot of experiences. It opens up my eyes. It allows me to taste different food, see different cultures. For the most part, because we go to a lot of Latin American places, like, people generally eat kind of clean. Even though, like, they do, like the tacos and the pollito and arroz con gandules and, like, pork and stuff like that. Like, yes, of course, it's going to be that in every culture.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's just, like, people are usually, like, heavy on the avocados, on the fruit, the papaya, the veggies. You know, they're like eating 5 times a day, having like a little siesta in between. It's a good time. Highly recommend it. Go to Colombia. It's really cool. But I think it's just like, it's not so much the food, but the energy, the frequency. It's like you feel good and then you feel good. Like you feel good in that moment, but then you're also just like on a higher frequency that sickness and dis-ease can't get you on, because that's a lower frequency. Like when you're sad and, in the blues, depressed, maybe you're looking at like a gloomy day for 365 days a year, it's easy to get sick because you're just feeling low, like low vibes. When you're higher frequency and you're just like, yo, I feel good, you can't touch me. Yeah. Like viruses can come in here, but they're not going to mess anything up because my body's got me, my cells got me, my immunity's taken care of. Like we're all working in this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like mentally, like mental health? Like how do you think that traveling has a lot to do with that?
Yeah, because again, you're expanding your mind. If you live in this like so funny. Me and Mike talk about like boxes all the time. But if you live in this box and like you're not very you're not going out very much and you're not very social, or you're just not experiencing stuff, if you don't see like greenery, if you don't get fresh air, if you're not going on walks, then again, like your mental state is going to be like down in the dumps, right? It's very easy to do that because you're just like here. But when you're socializing, you feel a little bit better. When you're just aware of not only your own emotions, but other people's emotions too, you're like mindful, you feel a little bit better. And I feel like I've also done like case studies on myself because like winter blues in Chicago, it's a thing. Like I felt it at least. Sure. I don't know. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, cool. There will be times where maybe I'm not actually sick, but I feel like being sick. Like, I don't know if you ever felt that way. I'm just like, yeah, I just want to be cozy and like not talk to anyone and just, I don't know, maybe I want to be sad for no reason. And then, Mike will be like, yo, let's go to like a show or let's just do something else and just like converse with other people, socialize, because we're social creatures. Yeah. And then I'll just feel so much better. Yeah. It's just like that.
How do you get out of that though? Because I feel like it's so hard. It is so hard because I have days like that too, especially in the winter. Yeah. It's like there's no sun. Mm-hmm. It's cold as hell. Mm-hmm. It gets dark at 4. It's like nobody's outside, and if you do go outside, you got to cover your oxygen holes. Like I can't see anybody smile. Yeah. It's very difficult.
Yeah, the whole mask thing is not helping at all. The people are getting cabin fever because we've been locked in for like 10 months now, right? Again, you can't smile. You're like, your lips are like this. That's how I feel anyway when I have the mask. I'm just like, I might as well just not talk.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's just like the decision. Because yeah, it's super easy to be sad when you're already in that state. Like that is your flow, but your flow is just like more lower.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just like, get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just get the fuck up. Go outside, move your body, drink some water. Do some push-ups. Be grateful. That's why gratitude is so important.
Facts.
Because you can't be in a negative state and a positive state at the same time. Even if you are, that would be neutralized, which is better than being like negative. So it's just like, how can I elevate my frequency? The emotional conscience scale that David Hawkins talks about. It's just like, how can I go from overwhelmment or depression or sadness or even just neutrality and boredom to happy, to joy, to love, to just being. And then of course, like the highest frequency I think it is joy, but bliss. How do I get there? It's just like one step at a time. It's like you're climbing the consciousness ladder.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. Like, whenever I feel like angry or frustrated, irritated or something, I send a gratitude message because immediately there's something about it. I think it's the physical aspect of typing it and like that you're intentionally expressing gratitude. I think completely changes your vibe.
Absolutely. Like your blessings are so much bigger than anything that you think is blocking you.
Facts. What's your take on this whole COVID thing? Because it started with 15 days to slow the spread, and we're at almost 15 months now. It's been like 10 months, but almost a whole year actually that we've been in this whole pandemic, so to speak. And people are not only struggling financially, some people, but a lot of people are struggling mentally. Like people don't want to come outside. I actually invited somebody to the event yesterday, and they're like, no, because I see you guys all don't wear a mask and are close to each other, and like, aren't you guys scared that like, you're gonna get infected, you're gonna get it's like, feel like there's a zombie apocalypse or something. How do you what's your take on this whole thing?
I think you said it. Fear.
Yeah.
Like, aren't you scared? No. I'm not. Think about it this way. And okay, the virus itself, it's a real virus, but it's a real man-made virus. Like, that's all I'm saying. It has Bill Gates' name on it. I don't trust it. But besides that, like, yes, I'm going to be mindful of elderly because they're more susceptible to it.
Right.
Their immunity is a little bit worn down. People that have respiratory problems too. Like, okay, cool. I'm being mindful. But don't cover my air holes. Like, don't keep me in this cell, in this box, cover up. Basically, I literally saw someone walking with a mask that was covering the bottom of their lip to the top of their eyes. And I'm just like, bro, like, you're walking blind. You're a personified representation of what this is, which is instilling fear and just kind of making you a sheep. But when I say that, I feel like that's disrespectful to sheep.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so true.
I want it to be over. I do. I know that that's not going to be the case anytime soon.
Really?
I don't think so. Like, unless there's just like, remember the E. coli?
Yes.
And the swine flu?
Yeah.
It was a scary thing. And
Ebola?
Whatever. Yeah. They come and go, right? Those are like the last ones that I remember, but what happened? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Where the cure was.
Yeah. It's just gone all of a sudden.
Gone all of a sudden, right? And like, ever since then, nobody's had a case.
Yeah. I'm wondering why all this shit is like still lingering, like how is it still, and you just talk about it, just conversation we were just having before we started recording, like all the stuff that's happening in the stock market, like with people making, crazy amounts of money just very quickly. I think that is leading up to the next wave of like catastrophe in this year. Like, a lot of things are just not the same as they used to be, and a lot of people are doing things differently and realizing that shit is like operating differently, and a lot of things are getting exposed. And I think we're in like kind of moving into like a phase of consciousness. Yeah,
absolutely. And the cool thing is, this is so dope because I've kind of been feeling that for like decades. Like, since grammar school, I've kind of always said like, we're in a shift, but I never even know what it meant. I didn't know what it meant. I was just like, I'm 12. What do I know? And then high school too. And I'm just like, we're in a shift. I was thinking more digitally, just like more inclined to do things based off technology, AI, all that good stuff. But we really are, huh?
Yeah. Like,
this is a shift in consciousness. And it's super dope because I am a firm believer that the people that are supposed to be parts of this are part of it. Like you, I, Brian, Mike, all of us. Like, I do think that we have a role here. And like, yeah, of course, it's like 7 billion people in the world. Like, cool. And everyone's going to kind of do their own thing. And it's a bigger scheme than just like 2020 or 2021, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be over decades, maybe over hundreds of years. And maybe we're just at the very beginning. But nonetheless, we are. Or nonetheless, it is. So I think that's super dope. In terms of, I don't remember your first question, but in terms of the stock market and everything going, we're in a change. I hope that like paper money is just a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Or that maybe even money is a thing of the past. Like maybe we just go to different currencies, you know, favor for favor. Maybe just doing things out of mere kindness. I don't know.
Do people hit you up a lot about your opinion on all this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm not a pro. You know, like I do as much research on the toilet as anyone else does. Like it's cool because nobody really knows for sure.
Yeah.
We would love to have all these theories play out, but ultimately nobody knows shit.
Yeah, true. So speaking of the shift in, you know, consciousness and everything that's going on, like what percentage of your success is the spiritual side of
All of it.
all of it?
All of it.
So how do you develop that? Because I didn't know that spiritual energy, or that, you know, that I guess that was the best way to explain it, that the spiritual energy of success is a lot more important than really the physical sense of success. A lot of people assume success is, you know, the watches, the cars, the houses, you know, the traveling, you know, all the nice material stuff, and they have no idea that the spiritual side of success is honestly the most important, if not the most important. Like, how did you get into that, first of all?
I don't remember like the one moment that was like, I am spiritual now. Yeah, I don't remember that. I think it comes from either just wanting change, like despair, maybe a little bit of pain. Like I need change. I need something different. I need to just move differently. Otherwise I will continue to have what I currently have. You know, like in order to get what you want, you have to give everything that you currently have, right?
Thanks.
So I don't know. I think it was just like awareness. Just like, I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. And it's by no means offensive to them, like no offense to them. But I want to do me. And me means I want to be able to go anywhere I want, whenever I want, with whoever I want. Freedom shouldn't be something that is too far-fetched. That's the way I was feeling. So anytime I kind of felt like I was complacent, I felt like that was an exchange. I was just like, I'm choosing complacency. And that was like one of the ugliest parts. I was just like, I was consciously settling. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but I'm just like sick to my stomach, like wanting to throw up. Like how can someone choose that?
Yeah.
You know, at least consciously. Unconsciously, it's a different thing because you're not aware of it. But consciously choosing to settle for less than what you could have. In terms of the spirituality of part of this, think about success could be incremental. It could be gradual, right? Step by step by step, climbing the corporate ladder, doing what like the small things to get you to the right places, and then continue to grow in whatever definition of success is for you. The spiritual side isn't gradual. It's not incremental. It's not logical. It's quantum.
Oof.
Like that's the difference. The quantum leap is going against logic. It's going against, you know, this taking this small step and this small step and talking to this person and thinking about everything that you have to do. The quantum leap is letting go and letting it come to you because you already have everything that you need for this quantum leap. You just haven't done it yet. It's just so like, just do. Mm-hmm. Just let it come to you. And like, it's so cool because I know that I'm still not there. So I know that it's coming. And maybe that's the shift because now I feel it. As opposed to like, I need to get to the next thing. I need to do all this planning. I need to mastermind. I don't know if you can relate to this, but every time I'm close to doing that thing that I want to accomplish, I get into that zone of like, I need to mastermind. Yeah. I need to plan out. At this point, I'm just like,
just release.
Like it's already done. It's actually already done.
I just recently, this year, in the last 28 days, have really been experiencing that.
Yeah.
Like to the fullest of extents, to the point where I used to live my life in a constant state of just like rapid paced motion and action because I wanted to accelerate my success. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like I always needed to be doing something. Mm-hmm. Like I would get anxious when I was just like chilling and hanging out. Like, you know, I would just get, I wouldn't like to just hang out unless I was in one of those like winter blues. I don't want to feel it. I just want to be sad for like a couple hours type moment. But if I wasn't in that, I was like, I need to go do something. Like I can't just sit in bed. I can't just chill and watch TV. Like I can't do that.
Yeah, you're a hardcore red.
Yeah, I was, and I just like I couldn't. And lately, I've just been like, you know, everything is just gonna come when it's supposed to come.
It's all great,
how it's
baby.
supposed to come. I'm grateful, and it's really been happening.
Yeah,
like,
isn't that crazy?
it's really crazy. It's almost like it doesn't feel like true. You know, it's like and I've been doing it a lot for me for like for money, right? I've been doing a money affirmation, and lately like I've been getting a lot of money, and I'm like, this can't be true. Like, how is this possible? How is it continuously can keep coming? And it's just because I keep affirming it. But I'm not necessarily. I don't want to say that I haven't taken any new actions. It's just been like more just mental awareness of what's happening, and it just comes. Jordan, I've talked to Jordan a lot about this because I think he's like perfect example of just like do nothing and eventually somehow you'll get everything that you want. And it's been working. It's bliss.
Can't deny that.
It's bliss. How does somebody start that? How does somebody start their spiritual journey? Because I grew up Catholic, so my spiritual journey started because my parents put me through a Catholic retreat. But I kind of I had tapped into frequencies and energy and all that stuff, meditation. That was like step one. And then what took me into like the spiritual realm was that Catholic retreat, which was a lot about, you know, the Bible and God and Jesus and all that. But to me, the translation was just like a higher power being, energy. And I felt like at the peak of it was the second day, it was a 3-day retreat. And at the peak of the end of the third day, which was like when you were supposed to be like blessed and, you know, accomplish basically what you were supposed to accomplish at the retreat, I felt like I was a totally different person. I actually started crying just like out of nowhere. You know, we were supposed to be, I don't know what they're called, but we were supposed to be kneeling in like one of those benches, and the priest was like, just sit in prayer. I didn't necessarily know how to pray, you know, like ask God for love and money and, you know, health, and that was like my prayer to me. And I started praying, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I'm done praying, let me just meditate, because I had learned how to meditate. And then all of a sudden something came about me, and I just started bawling. I just started crying, like no emotion at all, and my tears just started dropping. I was like, that's freaking weird. And after that day, I just like understand the spiritual side of success, like to a higher level. But someone that doesn't have that type of experience, like how does somebody get into that?
I think, okay, well, I do think that religion is part of spirituality. It's just like a different, more outlined way of doing it. Like, this is what we believe in, this is what we don't, you know, kind of things. But in terms of spirituality, I don't think it's what you start doing. I think it's what you start resisting, or what you stop resisting. That's what I meant, my bad. So just stop resisting like things outside of your current beliefs, your current, not your current morals, but like what they teach you, whatever, whether it be like Catholicism or Judaism or whatever, right? Just stop resisting other options and then go with the flow. Like, there's a reason why that's so cliche, is because just like, are you open to learning about other things? Like, that's the cool thing about quantum physics. It's undeniable. Almost. It's hard to believe, but it's still there. You know, it's just like, just because you can't see it, you can't like physically measure time, space, and consciousness and stuff like that, doesn't mean it doesn't work. Doesn't mean it's not real.
Yeah.
So I think in terms of like, how do you teach someone to do that, is maybe teach how to stop resisting your own like growth, honestly, because it's just like, it's expanding the mind, right? So as long as you can stop doing that, then you're good.
I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you one more question, and then we're gonna play a game.
Cool.
So, you are a very large impact in a lot of people's lives, mine being one of them. What is your purpose? What is your life's purpose?
I think allowing people to find their authentic self and just feel good. Like, it's super simple, but I'm really over people not feeling good. Like, I didn't like it. I don't think anyone else likes not feeling good. So if I can get you to feel good, then in my essence, I have done like my purpose.
I like that a lot. And how did you discover that?
Just being down in the dumps is not a good place.
It's not fun at all.
Exactly. So if I can help other people do it, cool. The more the merrier.
What's your goal? How many people do you want to help?
All the peoples.
All the people.
And the animals.
I love that. All right, cool. So have you ever watched Gary V's rate overrated or underrated?
Yes.
Okay, bet. So, kind of similar to this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you two options. You gotta pick one.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, do I say overrated, underrated?
No. Well, we can.
Okay.
I can make another list.
No, do you?
But so we can just pick. I'm gonna give you two options, and you gotta pick which one.
Which one? What though?
Which one is your preference?
Oh, okay.
So I give you a choice of one or two things, right? It's like kind of like a battle of like one-sided, two-sided,
Okay.
right? And then you gotta just pick which one. So, iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Stocks or cryptos?
Crypto.
Black or white?
Black.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Ferraris or Lamborghinis?
Lambo.
Miami or LA?
Miami.
Socks or slippers?
Slippers.
Why?
I don't know.
American Airlines or United Airlines?
American.
Ooh. Telegram or WhatsApp?
Telegram.
Starbucks or Dunkin'?
Starbucks.
Chicago diner or vegan kitchen?
I've never been to Vegan Kitchen.
Yeah, you have. We've had the pizza before.
Vegan Kitchen?
Yeah. Or Kitchen 13, I'm sorry.
Oh, Kitchen 17.
17.
Shy die.
Yeah, facts. Beach or rooftop?
Ooh, beach.
Beach. Dogecoin or GameStop?
Oh my gosh, that one's actually hard. GameStop? I don't know why. I just gotta choose one right now.
Oh man. Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Bitcoin.
What's your favorite song right now?
My favorite song? Okay, I feel like that Kiti is kind of getting overplayed. That's like a thing of 20 days ago, you know?
Yeah, it's like 2020.
I think anything Rosalia or Russ.
Ooh.
Rosalia has a beautiful voice.
Russ is alright, Russ is really good. I
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was the game. I should have came up with more, but that was fun. I didn't think you were going to answer that fast. But thank you for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. Anytime you're out here, come through, bring a friend. We'll record another session.
Let's go.
Let's
Appreciate
go.
you,
Thank
dog.
you.